Hello, and welcome to Project Smile. My name's Joe Mittiga, and for the next 20 to 25 minutes, my intention is to help you get to know me. And hopefully over time, I get to know you. This is my third episode, and I'm really excited to share with you my life and to share my experiences, my strengths and my hopes, my highs and my lows. My hope, my desire is to get to know you and for you to get to know me. And over time, I hope as we create that relationship together, you'll feel like you can trust me. And as you trust me, I hope you can kind of follow some of the guidance I'm going to share. Ultimately, my goal at Project Smile is to help humanity heal. I have a dream. My dream is to create an environment where enough people remember their spiritual truth. And what is that truth? The truth is we're all created in the image of God. And my message here at Project Smile transcends religion. It transcends gender. It transcends ethnicity. It transcends the color of your skin. Male, female, I don't care. We're all created in the same image. But the image isn't that of our humanity. It's that of our divinity. And at Project Smile, my hope and my desire is to share with you my story on how I got to where I am today. And as part of, gifts that I want to give, you're always going to see my book back here behind me. This is my book, We. So you're going to see a QR code on this video. Please visit that website and download my book. It's free, completely free. I don't want your email address. I don't want anything. I want you to have my book. Because if you have my book and you read my book, you'll understand me better. And it's free, completely free. And when you go there, you can pass the message. Give it away. Give my book to as many people as you can. My goal is to download 1 million copies of my book. Why? Because what is the we? We is the expression of the multidimensionalness that we all live as. A higher self, a human self, and an inner self. Now, I'm going to share my path like I have in other episodes, and I'm going to continue on my story so that you can realize that even though today I live from a pretty connected place, I have to say, my life is full of joy. My abundance is pretty amazing. I've got 2 elite kids that have been raised consciously. I have an environment of family and friends around me that's very blessed. I am blessed. I've done a TEDx in South Africa where I met some of the most amazing people I've ever met in the world. And here next month, I've been asked to go to Dubai to share my message again with another part of the world that I'm super excited to go to. But I wasn't always like this, that's for sure. And I want to share my story in such a way to where no matter where you are now, if you're at the highest of your highs, that's wonderful. Congratulations. I celebrate that for you. And there's still spiritual growth to go. But if you're at the lowest of your lows, understand I've been there too. And together, we're just going to keep walking the path. My programs here at Project Smile aren't about teaching you anything. They're about helping you remember the truth that's already in you. And the easiest way for me to do that is to share my experience, my strength, and my hope. And as I do that, as I connect that, as I share that as intimately as I can, hopefully there's parts of my message you're going to connect to. And then, of course, there's parts you're going to say, you know what, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And just skip over that part. That's fine. What you're going to hear constantly from me is the multidimensionalness of our we, why we are a community, a global community. Although we might live miles apart in humanity, from a place of spiritual essence, we're all one. You're going to hear that over and over. What you're not going to hear from me, I'm not going to get into a religious debate with you. You know why? Because my message isn't about your eternal life. That's between you and your family and your friends and your pastors and your rabbis. I'm talking about your today. I'm talking about your tomorrow. So even though I mention God all the time, I will interchange the word God and Spirit and Great Spirit and Abba and Allah. I don't care what you call it, as long as you know where I'm coming from. And this whole sense of we're created in God's image, it's a real life thing for me today. I live it all the time. And my book is a gift. Please take it. You're going to see ways you can get in touch with me, in the banners. In future episodes, I'm going to be having other people, guests on my show, who are going to share their God experiences. And again, we're transcending religion. I'm not here to debate. I'm not. And I have some people that I've asked. I've had people of faith that have been doing a particular faith for 50 years. And I don't care which religion you're in, they all come across in the same message. What is the message? There's one God. God is love. Do good. Do God. Good things happen. It's the message across all religions. How you seek it, how you pursue it, how you embrace it, that's up to you. I empower you. I love it. I encourage that. My message is about our Creator. You, me, together, unity. The we, how do we become a we? Connecting in a divided world, how do we do that? Well, first off, we have to understand the only thing that's divided is our humanity, not our divinity. Our humanity has been taught. Our humanity has been encouraged. Our humanity over the millennia has been literally discouraged in the empowerment of our spiritual sense of self. It's fine. That was yesterday. Now we're talking about today. And that's why I talk about all the time, we are the generation of change. If you're watching me for the first time, welcome. My name's Joe Mittiga. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I've got an online presence everywhere. Search my name, Mittiga. You'll see me everywhere. Along the bottom of this video, you're going to see visit mrjoe.com. It takes you to my YouTube channels. Visit, subscribe, get to know me, share comments. I'll share back, I promise. Find me on social media. I'm out there, and I'm available to communicate. And what you're going to see is I'm just me. I'm just going to share me. Because as I share me, I hope it will help you remember a higher you. I don't claim to be anything other than Joe. I don't claim to be anything other than the expression that God gave Joe to express. But I do claim to be pretty practiced at it. I'm 62 years old. I had my first spiritual awakening at 26. I will never forget it as long as I live. I was suffering the consequence of my second DUI, and I'll never forget it as long as I live. My first spiritual awakening was this profound. I said to myself, you know what? These people aren't trying to get me to stop drinking. They're trying to get me to stop drinking and driving. I'll never forget it. I was like, wow, that's amazing. I spiritually woke. My solution is I changed my vice. I went from drinking to smoking marijuana every day. That's the wisdom of a 26-year-old addict that I was. But it was my first spiritual awakening. I'm 62. Been having these for a while now, a lot of years. And I want to share it with you because I know if you're watching this, if you haven't clicked me off already, it means you're connected some way. You know me. And you don't even know my last name. You don't know anything really about me, but you know me because the divinity in me is in you. Every time you brush your teeth, you're hearing me. But you're not hearing me, the Joe. You're hearing the me that's talking to you through Joe into you. That's our connection. That's our we. And that's how together we heal the world. We are the generation of change because of 4 or 5 different profound things happening in the world that have never happened before. And in this episode, I'm going to explain that in more detail. In future episodes, I'm going to tell you more about the details of my story. In other episodes, I talked about how I had a spiritual experience February the 20th, 1994, where my compulsion for drugs and alcohol was removed in a moment. A rush of energy from head to toe. I reached up and I said, God, if I'm not supposed to drink or drug today, please help. Rush of energy. The reason that's so profound, because right around that time when I changed from drinking to drugging, I said, I don't want anything to do with God. Simply leave me alone is all I said. I know you're there, but all I knew of God was through certain religions that I did not agree with. So I was completely separate. Not atheist. I always knew I couldn't create a flower, a tree, a bird, but I didn't have any relationship. February the 20th, for whatever reason, I put my hands out, rush of energy, walked out that day with no true connection. I didn't know really what happened. I just knew that I wasn't needing drugs and alcohol. I made it 54 more days, and I'm going to get into that story in the next episode more. But what I wanted to really talk about today, what's really on my heart, is we are the generation of change. When I go to Dubai, my next book, which is coming out soon, and I'm going to be on a New York, I'm pursuing becoming a New York Times bestseller. All of you can help me do that. Why is that so important? Because I say, you know what? If I get on that list, a lot of people are going to know me. And you know what I do with the proceeds of my book? It all goes into Project Smile. You want to know who Joe is? Go to projectsmile.world. I wish I could take you around my house. The producer, the owner of this channel, he said, Joe, show people your house and show people, because you live in a cool place. I do. I live in $1 million house now. Both my kids are elite. They're going to make 10 times more money than I ever will make. I am not doing this, selling books for the money. I don't need the money. That's a true statement. I'm doing it for the exposure. I'm doing it because I know that if I can share my truth with the world, that there's going to be enough people. And you're watching this now. You're still in this program. I've been talking for 15 minutes, 10, 12. If you're still listening, you're connecting to something. And it's not me, the physical. It's me, the spiritual. I'm talking from my divinity. If you're still watching, your divinity is listening. And as enough of us listen, as enough of us wake up to our highest truth, the action steps of your divinity is to pursue grace. Grace is accomplished by giving back. The generation of change. Why do I keep saying that? Why is my TED Talk in Dubai where I'm going to be in a room of billionaires? Because these are big-hearted, amazing human beings that have created masses of wealth, that have huge hearts. Most loving people on the planet. I've really come to realize how loving the world is. And love has nothing to do with your bank account, but it does have everything to do with what you can accomplish when you have a bigger bank account. Fact. I come across people all the time, 2 of the men I'm going to talk about, they have no money, but their hearts are full. We are the generation of change because there are certain things that have come together now as a humanity. We're in a spiritual evolution. We're growing into something else, a grander us, a grander version of us. And as we do that, we are healing humanity. I have a dream. What's my dream? My dream is to help empower enough people to where there's enough wealth given back to the poorest places on the planet so together we can heal the planet. Now, does that mean we're going to heal all ailment? No. Does that mean we're going to heal all challenges? No. It does mean, though, we're going to heal this concept of no water. This is 2025. No water? Ridiculous. not okay. We can fix it. Generation of Change will do that. Why? Because for the first time in human history, we have more wealth on the planet than ever before. There's more money moving across the planet in 1 hour than what used to exist in all of humanity. There's more wealth than ever before. And because of that wealth, we have the opportunity to truly do something about it. We're in this thing called Generation Lap. Generation Lap is where our children are smarter, wiser, more in tune than we will ever be. They're smarter than we are. They're more aggressive than we are. They're more active than we are. About 2 minutes ago, you might have heard my front door open in the background of this video. That's my 18-year-old who just walked in from the gym because he works out 7, 8, 9 times a week. Why? Because he has a passion to play elite baseball. Yeah, it's a real life thing. Did I work out as a kid? Yeah. Did I have his passion? I didn't. We're in Generation Lap. Our children are more in touch and more empowered than ever before. But what's more important than that, or equally as important, we have an entrepreneurial class that has made more money in shorter periods of time than ever before. 1% one time heals the entire water crisis of the planet. 1% one time. I did the math not long ago. Less than $4 billion, the entire continent of Africa has water. $4 billion relative to the annual gross revenues of our globe is 1/100,000th of 1%, or 1/1000th of 1%. It's nothing relative to the global wealth. All water challenges in Africa gone. Generation Lap. We have an entrepreneurial class who's seeking their next thing. They're seeking their next adventure. They're pursuing and asking the question, what's next? All they know is the pursuit of gratitude through entrepreneurial success. That's the spiritual nature of their yesterday. You're sitting here now. You're saying, I get it. I woke up this morning. I've got plenty of money. Both my kids are launched. I've got enough cars. Now what's next? What's next in the spiritual adventure is the pursuit of grace. Pursuit of gratitude happens as we accomplish and we gain and we use our knowledge and our abilities to accomplish things, to build things. Spiritual evolution, the spiritual warriors out there now are seeking that next thing. Well, what is it? It's the pursuit of grace. Why? Because the spiritual warrior, as we pursue and remember what's the truth, and what is the truth? The truth is we are all spiritual beings. As we start living more and more from our divinity, the natural action step of our divinity is giving back. The experience accomplished by giving back is grace. My live stream, which now has over 50,000 people on it, and most of the people on my live stream, they don't have more money than a month. Does that mean they can't live from their divinity? Of course not. How do I tell them to do it? Look around the table. Look around the room. I don't care if you're in a grass hut or if you're in an emperor's palace. Look around the room. And if you're creating a smile on the people sitting next to you, you're living as your highest sense of self. You're giving back. How do you know? You're creating a smile. So what's my message on my live stream? I have an inspirational story on it every 2 weeks, the 1st and the 15th at 10 a.m. Eastern. And we give a story, inspiration. And then I empower people. I don't care your financial state. I'm telling you, everybody can live from a sense of gratitude. Everybody can live from a sense of grace, their divine self. Download my book. Click on the QR code. It's free. Please download it and give it to everybody you know. Tell everybody about this program. Connect to me on YouTube. Hear my message on a daily basis. I put them out there all the time. The rest of the story on why we're the generation of change, technology. Technology allows action steps to happen today that couldn't happen before. A friend of mine working in Dominican Republic, their water tables have raised. All water, no matter where you drill, is salt water. Well, now you can actually remove salt from the water. You just need enough money to do it. In the Tanzania, years ago, a 450-foot well was impossible to drill. You couldn't do it. Now, $40,000, $50,000, you drill a well, 450 feet. Okay, $50,000 and 5,000 people have water? Yes. Why? Because technology. On the way back from South Africa, I have this inspiration because I learned about this no water concept. It's blowing my mind. I go, I search, I'm on LinkedIn, I find 2 caregivers. One gentleman asked for $50. I said, sure, here it is. In 5 minutes, 10,000 miles away, he had my $50. Within 2 hours, he sends me back a message. 22 kids with no parents thanking me for $50. What'd that tell me? It's a small world. Technology makes it a small world. The last thing I will share, and the most important part, the thing that is there now, which wasn't there 20 years ago, and it's been a spiritual evolution for 20 years, and that's this concept of prolonged caregivers. There are people out there, tens of thousands of people out there, that their life passion, their life purpose is to be on the ground making a difference. Is that me? No, it's not. It's not. My message is a big voice. Ask my kids, I got a big mouth. That's my message, to get the message out there, to create awareness. Tens of thousands of people are hands on the ground. What are they missing? Money. That's all they're missing. The challenge is 90% of human suffrage could be gone soon. All they need is money. All the other components are in place. I have been humbled by the grace and the magnitude of connection of these prolonged caregivers that I've come across. 2 men in Africa, Brother B, Brother Allen, both men, upper 20s, mid 30s, both men grew up challenged, both men supported, both men educated, both men married, kids, at any time could move, could go, could flourish. But their passion is to support these kids with no parents. They work hard every day to give money to feed children with no parents. That's prolonged caregivers. I've come across 2 different men in the past month. One man working in Vietnam, working to solve the child trafficking issue. Another man working in Guatemala for 20 years, changing laws. I've got a gentleman that's solving the issues of water in the Dominican Republic. I've got 2 different men, one in Somalia and one in Tanzania, that today, if they had the water, if they had the money, wells could be drilled, all of that area could have water. Well, that's us. That's you. That's me. That's our role. Why do I call us the generation of change? Because together, as we're remembering the highest sense of truth, as we're remembering our divinity, as we're remembering who we truly are, and that's a spiritual essence, not a human sense of self, as we all connect to the we, get my book, download it for free. Please tell everybody. Because in my book, I explain all of this in more detail. But as we remember and we search and we start answering the question of what's next, the what's next is living our divinity. If you don't have enough money to give, it's fine. Create a smile. You're living in your divinity. If you do have money to give, find your thing. I'm not saying come to me. You want a place to do it, I'll help you. But go find your thing. What is your next thing? It's something about giving back somewhere, somehow. Go find it. Go live it. Go live that divinity for yourself. And as we do that, as we connect that way, as we all start giving back, as we all remember the highest essence of who we truly are, that's how my dream comes true. I have a dream. And my dream is that collectively we as humanity are healing the world. And together, we'll heal humanity, one smile at a time. Thanks for being with me today. Watch my other episodes. Please download my book. Join me on YouTube. Find me on social media. Pass this out to people that you know. And together, we're doing it, one smile at a time. Thanks for being here.